Somewhere between being a victim and being a perfectionist is where your balance lies. But I get ahead of myself. When I was a kid, my dad called me sturdy. And I wasn't overweight yet, so this was a positive thing. It meant that I was strong and that I was reliable. I loved to eat, still do, and I was a bookworm, so pretty sedentary. But this was not a problem until I started dating my husband after high school and spending a lot of time at his family's house. Because his family could cook, and every meal was an occasion. And this was the time of me learning how to feed myself. This was the time of fried egg sandwiches and milkshakes made out of real ice cream. And even though his family didn't gain an ounce eating this way, I did. Within the first couple of years, I had gained 10 pounds. And it kept going up steadily. This was my first experience with feeling out of control. My first experience with feeling like a victim. And I knew that something had to change, but there was nothing that I was going to do about it. I can remember going to the mall one day and getting a new pair of pants and trying on all the sizes in my favorite store and seeing that none of them fit me and having to go to the counter and order a larger size and feeling embarrassed, which is ridiculous. But still, nothing changed because this was the way I was. After all the other women in my family are overweight. Of course, this would be my fate too. But one day, I had a moment of clarity, a wake-up call. I was staying with my grandma in Scottsdale at her house, and in her hallway, she has a scale, for whatever reason. And I didn't own one. I didn't even know what I weighed. So that day, out of some morbid curiosity, I decided that I was going to step on that scale. So picture me standing in the hallway, looking around the corner to see if anyone was going to catch me in this moment of weakness, this moment of pure vanity, as I step forward onto the scale, look down, and discover that I weigh the same as my 6'2" husband. In that moment, I had never felt more out of control. And I knew that something had to change, but I felt a case of the I can'ts welling up inside of me. I can't lose weight. I can't fit a workout into my busy schedule. I can't give up cheese. Have you ever felt like you just can't do something? How is that working for you? I bet it's working just as well as this was working for me, which is to say not at all. It wasn't until I made a conscious decision to stop using can't statements and instead to reframe them into action steps, start problem solving, that I was able to release 40 pounds and completely change my body shape. And that was wonderful. I was so proud. And I went along with that for a few months, but I started to notice that even with this control I had, there was still something missing. I still felt out of balance. On a typical day, I would wake up at 4:45, get to the gym within 15 minutes, and then after that I'd go straight to work for the day, come home at the end of the day, spend 2 hours in the kitchen preparing meals for the next day, and then do it all again. I rarely missed a day's intense workout, And I was eating a strict raw food diet and tracking every calorie that went into my body. I was desperate to have the perfect body, the perfect career, the perfect life. And yet, I wasn't even taking time to spend with my family, or time to spend with my husband, even time for myself. And I was getting burnt out from exerting so much of that I can energy, so much of that control. Crazy, right? So I realized a second aha moment in that time. And this one was even more powerful than the first one. It was that happiness, it comes from balance, not from perfection. That in striving for all this control, I had gotten addicted to it, and I had forgotten why I was doing it in the first place, which was really just to be happy. When we take control, it is a powerful thing, and it is really important. But isn't what we all want happiness? We owe it to ourselves to not forget why we're doing what we're doing. Because somewhere between being a victim and being a perfectionist is where your balance lies. So I ask you today, do you find yourself more often being a victim or being a perfectionist? And where between those two might your own balance lie?